When you launch the Customer EFT program, the first screen shows the accounts that are set up to be EFT'd. In Customer Account Maintenance in the core Commander system, there is a checkbox that you click to add a customer to the EFT process. From this screen you see here, you can either proceed to build and process EFT files, or you can edit customers' EFT profiles. Let's take a look at the editing capabilities. You maintain both customer and bank information here. Each customer is assigned to whichever receiving bank is necessary. Since Commander's EFT module holds each customer's bank account number and the bank's routing number, if you have to or want to change banks for your company, this feature makes it easier to do so. Any of these actions can be performed. The default is 22, credit to checking account, which means we will be taking money out of a customer's bank account and putting it into ours. Notice that you can put money into a customer's checking account with a transaction code of 27. Just select the customer, change the transaction code to 27, and proceed. For each bank into which remittances flow, you have complete drafting setups. You identify which Commander GL account corresponds to each bank. Let's build a file and process it. Enter the date, usually the current date. Since draft files actually contain batches of instructions, you give each batch a unique batch number. This lets you build drafting files in advance and then actually execute them later. Choose the bank into which you want the money to come. There are several ways you can filter your AR open items for inclusion in a batch. By due date is what we are doing here, or through a transaction date, meaning that you might want to draft for every open item that was produced through last Friday, for example. Or you can select particular invoice numbers or a range of numbers with the reference fields. Once you've selected your parameters, you do a search. All of these items fell within our search parameters. We can select them all for processing or deselect them all and then pick and choose individual items by clicking on each checkbox. If you're in the middle of editing your draft file and remember that there are other open items you need to draft for but that were not caught by your filtering parameters, you can click on the Manually Select Invoices button to go to a data grid that will display all customers' open items, and from there you can add more items to this batch. Data in white cells can be edited, so if you don't want to draft for a full amount or if you want to change the discount amount, you can. When you think you've got your batch good to go, do a preview for a final check. All of these items will be paid unless we make further changes to the batch. Often it is helpful to see things like this in a report form. The next step is we produce the draft notices. Each customer who is going to be drafted gets a draft notification. These are delivered via fax or email or via posting to your Commander Customer Information web portal. You can jump directly to any customer's draft notice for viewing. You will click on this button to actually build the Notcha encoded draft file. As mentioned earlier, Commander's EFT module lets you build drafting batches in advance. This screen lets you pick pre-built files or batches and then send them to your bank. This is the batch we just built. And we can take a look at the shorthand version of the drafting instructions if desired. In black and white, this is the data the bank system will use for instructions. Once you receive notification from the bank that the drafting has been done, you apply AR payments by clicking the Post button. Not only does the EFT module basically connect your AR files to your bank without the need for any rekeying, it also makes the receipt on account entries for you. This module eliminates tons of time and many potential errors.